Hello, and welcome back to the Freelance Friday podcast. Typically, I do these social media update videos as one big compilation of all the different social platforms. But honestly, there is so much coming out of Meta, specifically Instagram, lately that I just figured we should dedicate an entire episode to what the heck is working on Instagram right now, what these new changes are, and how we should be responding to them as creators, entrepreneurs, business owners, social media managers, etc. By the way, before we hop in, did you know that this is an actual podcast? I sometimes get questions from people asking if they can listen on the go. And yes, we're available on Apple, Spotify, pretty much anywhere where you listen to podcasts. That's also why I talk so much. I sometimes get those questions too, as you know. So I don't ask very often, but if you have a second and could review the show on Apple Podcasts or rate it on Spotify, that really helps when it comes to just staying consistent, getting bigger guests, getting sponsors for the show, getting more people to listen, all that stuff. I'd really appreciate it. I'll leave those links down in the description as well. All right, so first update came from Adam Mosseri. These first two came directly from Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram. I saw them on Threads recently, and the first one, I think most of us should be happy about. I think there's a small group of us who may be a little disappointed by this, but there's this idea of content creators versus aggregators, and this new feature that Meta is rolling out called direct replace. So first, let's define creators versus aggregators. Content creators are those people like myself who record videos, post content, make things, create graphics, whatever, and post them onto their Instagram originally. And I think this feature is more specifically going to be impacting video creators. Then we've got aggregators. So those are people like, let's just say there's an account called like female entrepreneur, hustle, girl boss, or whatever. So they download reels created by people like me who post entrepreneurial content, who are women, and they repost them onto their Instagram. They might also do that for TikTok accounts or YouTube videos or whatever. And that's how they've built up their account. There's also like animal videos, right? Like cutest dogs ever. And they just download dog videos and post them. They are content aggregators. So they are not originally creating content. They're just compiling them together. So what Instagram is looking to do is give more credit to the original creators. So I've actually had this happen before where an account, very similar to the one I just described, downloaded one of my reels and it actually outperformed my own reel. It was whatever. I didn't really mind that much because I guess it was exposure. They did tag me in it. But one, they didn't ask me permission to use it in the first place. And it would have been nice if some of those eyeballs would have went to my original piece of content.
So one thing that we've started to do, and we're going to be doing more over time, is something that we call direct replace. So if we're going to recommend content, that is show a photo or video to someone who doesn't follow the account that created it, we're going to start now looking to see if we can find the original piece of content, if there is one. And if so, we're going to actually show that original piece of content instead of the content coming from the aggregator or the resharer. The other major change is changing how we treat aggregators on Instagram with regards to recommendations. And what we're going to start doing is trying to avoid recommending content from aggregators across Instagram.
I think this is great for most creators. I do think the accounts that are really relying on this, curated content, if you will, yeah, they're going to struggle, but this is not new. What I'm saying is no different than what I've been saying for the past several months, if not like years. We have to convince our clients, we have to convince ourselves how important owned original content is in a social media strategy nowadays. We have got to stop relying on these external sources, whether that is third-party music. We saw challenges with that on TikTok, whether that is aggregated curated content on Instagram. We've got to find our own unique voices. We've got to find our own unique style, and we've got to let people know who we are on these social media platforms. So let me know what you think about this one in the comments and on to story 2. So another big update that Instagram is making is they are trying to give a little bit more of a shot to smaller creators. Adam Mosseri in a video said that he kind of explained how the algorithm historically has worked.
So historically, if you were a comedian, let's say, and you posted a new bit as a reel, we would first show it to some of your followers, we would see how well it did, and then we may or may not show it to some people who do not follow your account yet. What we've changed and what we're trying to do more and more is to give every reel a chance by showing it to non-followers right away. Maybe people who are interested and stand up more broadly. And then if it does well, we try to expand, maybe to people who are interested in comedy more broadly.
Now, on Threads, I did notice a lot of people were asking, hey, what is a small creator? Because where's the definition here? Like, I love that Instagram Meta, I love that they are so transparent, but also it's a little confusing. Am I a smaller creator? I have like 30,000 followers. To me, that's small when we compare it to, like, I don't know, Kim Kardashian or something. But when we compare it to my local flower shop who might have 600 followers, I have a huge account. So I did some digging and it appears he responded to someone saying around 10,000 is what they're considering a small creator, under 10,000. Says that they're starting to roll it out and that creators should start to see the benefits over the coming months. We'll see about that. Okay, this is a big one. Instagram does not pay creators the way that YouTube does. YouTube, we get pre-roll ads and it's not a lot and it's waning for me, let's just say. But I do get a check from YouTube every month. Instagram, that is not the case. Even if you are a big creator, most creators are not actually getting paid from Instagram until they created this bonus program. They did this a while back. I was a part of it for a short period of time. They are now rolling out a Threads bonus program. Very interesting. So we all know Threads is essentially the X or Twitter competitor that Meta launched back in, I believe it was July of 2023. It got record downloads in the beginning. It kind of plateaued a little bit. Nowadays, I feel like the vibe is really good and people are really enjoying it. And it seems like Meta is really looking to push that product forward. Some creators have been seeing an incentive to start posting on Threads. Now, here's the kicker. These creators are all bigger creators. Large accounts on Instagram are being encouraged to start posting on Threads to get an up to $1,000 bonus, I think is what the screenshots that I've seen have said. I think some OG Threads users who have been, on the platform since the beginning and are like diehard about it are a little bummed just because it's incentivizing only the big guys. But from a business perspective, it makes sense. The company confirmed to TechCrunch about a limited time invite only program for creators, which began testing in March. Meta said that invited creators will have individualized requirements for bonuses. And at the moment, it's limited to US creators. So, for example, one of the requirements states that a post must receive at least 2,500 views. What's interesting is that you can't see your views on Threads. Like, Threads has no analytics yet, really. So I guess this is just based on the honor system. Like, if you're a huge account, come over, hopefully you get 2,500 views. You'll have no idea how close you are to getting that. And we'll just let you know. Don't call us, we'll call you. Interesting. There have been rumblings that ads are coming to Threads. I mean, they're definitely coming to Threads, right? We cannot live in this adless utopia forever, unfortunately. And I think once the celebrities start coming, that's when a social media platform is about to experience its downfall. No, I mean, I think whenever things start to get commercialized in that way, when we get celebrities on it, when we get ad revenue coming towards it, things stop being quite as fun. Historically, I've been through many social media platforms in my few decades on this earth, and that's typically what happens. So we'll see what the culture of Threads is like in a few months or a year. We'll see if it's overrun with ads, overrun with celebrities, brand deals, who knows? But it is interesting that Meta is really moving forward with this product and going full steam ahead. There's some new stickers on Instagram. First of all, a lot of people have been screenshotting the new stickers layout and being like, who designed this? I've had that layout forever though, but I don't have one of the stickers that I really want to try out. So it's very interesting how they roll stuff out, like who gets what. Anyway, they've added a few different ones, but the one that's very exciting or very interesting, I guess, to people is this reveal sticker. So the reveal sticker gives like a little blurred preview of your image, and then it requires a user to message you to unblur it. So it's kind of fun. It's like, I don't know, guess where I am today, guys? And then they can like message you, and then you can show a picture of you by the beach in Costa Rica or whatever. There's some other additional ones like frames where you can put a Polaroid overlay. Just like, okay, cool. More new stickers. I think the bigger story here is not just the features, but it's the investment in stories and in messaging, actually. This is something that I've noticed personally. I have been posting a lot less on my Instagram grid. Honestly, I've just been uninspired. I've been confused. Reels have been flopping. Only like personal photos are doing well. And I hate posting photos of my face all the time. I'm like, what do I post? So I feel like I personally am having a bit of an identity crisis with Instagram. So I've really just been posting stories. I've been posting almost daily for the past month or so. And I've noticed that actually my following has grown faster than when I was posting reels a couple times a week. I've also been doing a lot more DMing on Instagram recently. It's interesting that they're making this sticker where users have to DM you as opposed to just using like a questions box or a poll or something like that. I really do think there is something to actually sending a message to someone that they're like ranking higher in the algorithm or that is just working a little bit better. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's just shows higher intent or what, but I also just I've like eliminated the question sticker from my story strategy more or less. I'll just ask for feedback via DM. I'll be like, what do you guys think? And then get people to DM me. And I think that is weighted a little heavier. That's just my theory. But this new sticker kind of feels like it supports that, right? And then the biggest news of all is Meta AI. Meta AI is here. I hopped onto Instagram one day, went to my search bar, and it was replaced by something called Meta AI. So first, what is Meta AI? Let's get the definition here. This is an article from Lifehacker. Meta's AI assistant has actually been around since September 2023, but the most recent update puts it directly in the search boxes and sometimes even feeds of apps, including Facebook and Instagram. The integration is a little different from app to app, but in general, clicking on the search box will now show an iridescent rainbow circle with a prompt next to it saying, Ask Meta AI anything. If you take Meta up on the offer, you'll be able to have Meta AI answer writing or image generation prompts, which are classic AI assistant features. The app will even give you a few suggestions, and with Llama 3, which is Meta's AI tool or whatever, it can also generate GIFs and return real-time search results from either Google or Bing. The problem is that they're mixed in with non-AI features, so it can be confusing to tell them apart. So you can still use that Instagram search just to find like your friend or to find your, an account, my Pilates studio or whatever. I can still do that. But I can also ask like, how do I start a garden? So it's kind of interesting. They are differentiated. There's little icons. So there's that like purple blue circle. That is Meta AI versus the magnifying glass. That is an Instagram search result. So you can still search for your friends or hashtags or whatever, but it's also going to be mixed in with this AI stuff. Now, a lot of people are annoyed. I'm probably one of them, right? Like I don't really need another AI tool. If I really want to use AI, I'm going to just like use something else. And I don't want it forced upon me, that's for sure. And there's not really a way to disable it. Now, there are ways to block it. So if you go into your messages on Meta, you can just delete your conversation with it, but you can't disable that search function. Those are kind of always going to be there, is my understanding. Now, I am on social media pretty heavily for my job, of course. So I have kind of just come to terms with the fact that like all of my content is training AI. I would be delusional to think that it's not, right? YouTube is a Google platform. I know they're taking these videos and turning it into whatever, something. I've just kind of had to accept that. I don't like it, but I get it. But I think for people who do not have to be online like I do for their careers, this is concerning. I don't think I've seen one positive comment about Meta AI. I'm really curious what you think about it. My big thing, even like put the AI hesitancy aside, my big thing with it is it's just not personalized. I have been on Facebook since I was in high school. They should know what I'm into by now. They should be giving me something that's a little bit more personalized. I feel like my Reddit feed is more personalized. I feel like, TikTok is definitely more personalized. So I think they've got work to do if they want it to actually suck us in and get us to accept it, because I'm just not seeing it. It's just not winning me over quite yet. But let me know what you think. With that said, I also wanted to just chat about a trend that I'm seeing overall on Instagram, which is this 9 grid trend. I'm seeing a lot of people talking about this on threads. What I used to call this is parking my Instagram account. So, for example, there is a Freelance Friday podcast Instagram. If you search it, it's not updated though. I don't post to it. I strictly have my podcast cover. I actually, now that I'm talking about this, I know I need to like redo this because it's an old cover. It's super old school. But I just have 9 images to make up a square, which shows the podcast cover. And I did that because people would search for Freelance Friday podcast on Instagram. They would tag it on Instagram. And I wanted there to be something there, and I didn't want somebody else to take the username. So this isn't really a new thing, but it seems like there is renewed interest in this strategy because it seems like a lot of creators are just really stressed out and overwhelmed by having to, ask how high whenever Meta says to jump. There are just so many changes coming to the platform all the time. It really is a full-time job to manage an Instagram account nowadays. So this is potentially a much simpler way to have a presence on Instagram without having to jump through all the hoops. Now, of course, the challenge is, well, how are you getting new people to discover you on Instagram if you're just parking your Instagram account? And it seems like those who are choosing to do this are kind of accepting that they're not using Instagram for discoverability anymore, and or they're prioritizing stories or even just posting reels and not posting them to the grid. I think it's really interesting. I am a little tempted to do the same thing because, like I said, I'm having a bit of an identity crisis with Instagram. I don't even know what people want to see on there anymore. So I'm just posting my life on stories and sharing what I've been up to. But I do feel like it's going through a bit of an evolution. And I think overall, the strategy, especially off the heels of the TikTok news that we just talked about last week, is that they're moving towards more of this like FYP or For You page type of approach. Let me know what you think about all of these stories. Let me know if you would consider trying a 9 grid. How do you feel about the threads bonuses? How do you feel about Meta AI? That's what I really want to know. And I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, the podcast, Apple, Spotify, all the things. And I will talk to you in my next episode. Bye.